There we go. Should be popping up on YouTube here any second. There we go. Got one watching. I think that's me. Hey, Randall. Hey, Dickens. Yeah, so if you're in the Zoom right now, write down the link. It's the same, and it's in Discord. Same link every week. It's on the description of all the YouTube videos over on YouTube. And we do this every week at 5 p.m. And I try not to miss. I was late one time, but I try hard not to miss it. It's one of my favorite things to do. Completely free, open for all. Whether you subscribe to anything to me or not, you can watch the replay on YouTube. And there's my pretty face. So like I was saying, this is a picture of my son's graduation from last week. It was hot, real hot. Kimberly is in the crowd. How you doing, babe? All right. We got about 2 minutes or 1 minute left. If you're new here, new to 30 Minutes of Awesome, let me know in the chat. If you're new to me completely, let me know in the chat. That way I can make sure I welcome you and focus in on making sure that you're part of the group here. Hey, El, Randall, Dickens. New completely. Welcome, James. All right, Chris, new to 30 Minutes of Awesome. We're going to try to do some market analysis, and we're going to take requests. So 3 big topics of the day. Where are we headed next? We're going to cover that. And then we're going to look at stock picks. I'll do some of mine, and then we'll do some of yours. And then I'll give you how to escape the market yo-yo with an offer. So yeah, it was a big week. Graduation and a wedding all at once. And I actually have a birthday later in June. So all righty. Well, it's 5 o'clock. Let's get started, shall we? Welcome all the new people. Celeste, welcome. Krish, welcome. I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. Lori, welcome. Francois, Dickens, Rufus, welcome, everybody. All right. Make sure you let me know in the chat, either on YouTube or in Zoom. I am on Zoom, so I'm going to try to watch both the chats for Zoom and for YouTube. So let me know if you're new, and let me know your questions. I'll try to address them as we go. All right. So I'm Jeffrey Turnmeyer. I started trading like in the 3rd grade, playing the stock market game. We had to fill out Scantrons, mail them in, and get our trades back via mail sometime later. I mean, it was a rough go. And then rock forward a number of years. I graduated, turned 18, opened my own account when E-Trade was a brand new thing. And then I've been trading real money ever since. Fast forward a number of years, I tried to learn all there was to learn. I figured I just needed to learn more stuff about the stock market to be better at this, right? I think a lot of people kind of identify that, like the next thing's going to make you good, right? Turned out I just needed to focus on a couple core things that really worked, which turned out to be market math and Fibonacci's. And in 2020, during the COVID crash, I was in the right place, right time, right trades, knew the right people, hanging out with the right set of traders, and made 7 figures. And then Mr. Rob Booker asked me if I would like to join the company and teach other people what I do. And in 2021, we launched Echo Trades to the world. That was March of last year. Here we are about 15 months later, and I got a whole slew of people that follow me all the time. So, all right. We are going to get started here looking at some charts, and that's kind of the story of how I got to be where I am. All right, let's see. That's not what I wanted to talk about. First up, S&P 500. This is the SPX chart right here, zoomed up. This is an hourly chart. We've been in this correction right here. All right. So the problem I've got with my current 4 right here. Problem I've got with that is we did kind of 3 big waves down, and that could be an ABC to that low, or it could be the start of something a little more complicated. Now, the C wave is usually a 5-wave move. It's usually an impulse to wrap up the correction. And we don't have that right now into this low that we struck this morning, and then a strong rally. We did hit some echo levels. That's what you see, these Fibonacci levels all kind of lining up in this zone with the purple weekly pivot. Or I guess that's the monthly pivot. The weekly pivot's down here, the blue, and then the blue up here. So we kind of struck that zone and the 144 EMA in there on the hourly, and then bounced strongly. We closed the day at a lower high, lower high here, lower high here. So we closed the day at the lower high. So this gives me caution. We could see a pullback overnight and then a rally strongly tomorrow, or we could finish up this A, B, C, D, E, and then rally strongly. So either way, we're probably going to pull back into tonight, and then we could see a strong rally out of here. Now, if this is an A, B, C, D, E situation, this C moves over to the E, and then target for 5 moves up a little bit. So yeah, well, not everything is always Elliott wave, but it is. It's one way or another, all the price charts are Elliott wave based. So they do follow the rules. So I'm just giving you laying out the land here. This thing's gonna probably break out, and we'll probably see a move up here. This will complete a 5, and then we'll probably get a pullback right back down into this 4100 area for a 2. And this will create a 1 wave 1 up of a higher degree, and we'll get a 2 pullback to the same level, probably taking us another couple weeks. So more chop, just what you wanted here, right? So jumping on out and back over into trading view. Let's jump up. We're on the daily, and S&P 500 is what I was talking about. There's my arrows and all the junk I've had up for a while. We're going to come up into this 144 EMA zone right up in here, which also corresponds to the top of this resistance box that I've had drawn on here for a few weeks now. I think we're going to see a push up into there and try to break out. Now we may retrace again. That's what this arrow was down here before we can gain the strength to break on out. Now, Nasdaq coming up a little short on its push higher, but it's going to get up into this 1300 to 1400 area up here. And we're coming up a little short of 1300 so far. So we're going to need some strength to get up in here and test this zone. Probably get a same sort of retrace before we can break on out. I do think we're on a path to see some higher highs. The epic bearishness and the VIX was relentlessly pulling back today. It's been on a charge lower, breaking below the roadmap line on the daily today. So we could see this return back into the teens. VIX become a teenager again. All right. Checking the Russell. Now this one's been leading. It's leading today. It's kind of leading the charge. It's led the charge all the way from the bottom that we had on the 12th of May. Still leading today. I think we could see it top out around 1976-ish. Maybe move a decimal one place for IWM. Maybe 197.6. And then we'd see a pullback maybe to this zone again before we break on higher. Now, obviously, it didn't break down right there at that level. It just kept on trucking through so far. So this becomes my primary view right here. Could look for some resistance at this 1618 level. All right, oil trying its darndest to break on out. Just keeps chugging along right here in this zone. There's a lot of fib resistance there. It's just having some trouble. Now, if it can break on out higher above 125, then we'll probably see a run up towards 150. If it breaks down here, we could still see, it hasn't really changed these levels down here at all. This whole correction type thing. Still looking for this move down to this 83 area. If it can do it. Now, it may not do it. It may just break on out and the correction be kind of weird back here, but that's fine. It's totally fine. It's still within the LA wave parameters. Now, gold right here, it was working on a break back above this trend line. This is a long-term trend line of lows going back all the way to to last summer. All these lows, and we kind of broke below it, and then we've been riding the trend line. Today it was pushing up, trying to break back above it. If we can get a solid break back above it, then gold can take a run. That would be my favorite ways to play that. GOLD, that's Barrick Mining, not the CFD. And then you have GLD, GDX, miners and a conglomerate, GDXJ. And another one that's a nice one is NEM. So looking at the charts real quick, that was the wrong chart. GOLD Barrick right down here. This one needs a little effort to get back up in here. Back above 21 looks a lot better for that one. And GLD, this one needs to get back above 174, say 174.70. And then GDX, this one's going to need a little bit more work. Got to get up here around 34. I mentioned NEM, and that one break back above 70, say 70.50 is going to be probably an early entry for NEM. And then GDXJ, which is junior miners, they're going to need a move up into this 40, say somewhere around 44 to really kind of signal that they're going to go up instead of down. So keep an eye on gold if that one can break out. It's just been consolidating. It's been kind of boring, but eventually it's going to break out and take a run. And I think it's going to surprise a few people. So, all right. One last thing we usually touch on is Bitcoin, and nice recovery here at the end of the day on Bitcoin. It was, looking like it was going to break down. It kind of took back the whole move from yesterday, and now we're getting this little hammer doji thing right at the end of the day here before we flip the day. So that could be bullish. I mean, that's some sort of strong buyers came in and started buying it up to make that hammer. So keep an eye on that one. We could finally get a breakout higher, which would be great for a lot of the miners, Mara, Hut, Riot, and BTBT. There's a whole slew of them that I know everybody likes. Hive. All right, so let's talk about some of your requests now that I've kind of been through the general market. So I talked about a few of my favorites. All right, UVXY, I see that one up there. Long term. So when we look at this one long term, it marches towards zero all the time. I don't think right now is any different. It has been kind of going sideways, but it's about to break down and start on a downtrend again. The last reverse split, let's remove the ad. I don't even see it on here. It did a reverse split back here. We're going to bump the prices up, and it's just going to relentlessly march towards zero. It has high costs to do what they do, moving their futures out a month each time. So roll cost is high. All right. Question on UNG. I still have that target from 32 to 35. Kind of scraped in there, the minimum bid of the target today, especially going into the close. I kind of expect one more spike, and then I'm probably going to jump off the train near 35. Could be 34, 35. I'll put it in Discord when I do that, just so everybody knows. I am in 15 strike January 2023 calls that were out of the money when I bought them, and they are now deeply in the money. So those are up some 400 and almost 430%, I think, right now. Looking for that last little bit. I'm going to jump off. I do expect a pullback, probably back into the mid 20s, and then the next run out into the next peak gas season. So if you use propane to heat your house in the winter or anything like that, now might be the time to stock up. So fair warning. All right. All righty. Yeah, and Bitcoin could just go sideways. It's not necessarily going to break out, but it does have it is on the second green week here so far. And this daily, I mean, you can say that it didn't do this hammer thing a few days back to close the day. I mean, it did take it back, but that day it just stayed a high doji. It didn't run all the way down and run all the way back up. This, yesterday it ran up, and then today it ran down and ran all the way back up in one day. So that to me is more bullish. It's kind of like what happened over here where it ran down and ran back up. Then we got a few days of relief, a whole bunch of days of consolidation. So on a smaller scale, that's kind of what's happening right here. So, all right. Aerospace defense. Well, there's I mean, if you're not up on current events, we're dumping billions of dollars worth of weapons over into Eastern Europe right now. So that one's breaking out above the 618 level and could go on a run. My target's up there around 111. So other stuff like North Tra NOC. Remember the Tigger. That one also looking like it's moving higher. Got a target up there around 500, and then above that 528. It's kind of just pushing above the prior high from back here in March. So probably going to tag that 500 level, and above that 528. All right. See AMD over in YouTube. So right now, coming up on the resistance right there. Did take a little bit longer than what I drew to get here. Do kind of expect a little bit of pullback probably for the next break higher. The next zone up is in this 122 to 132 zone. That's where it's going to find some resistance after it can break through this 144 EMA zone where the roadmap line comes down here. So it's still got some work to do. You could play that move up, but be cautious right here that we don't get a bigger bounce down. Now, if it can push on up through, that sets it up to go to the higher targets, getting close to 200 level, 250 on the upside. All right, that's AMD. All right, CVX. I'll come back to, I say CHPT in YouTube. I'll get there in a few minutes. So CVX looks like it's on its march to this 214 level up here. Just took a little break, moving the arrow over, still on the march higher. All right, rig. Yeah, nice break higher. That one can be. That's kind of a roadmap line entry right there with a $6.37 target right up there. Got to keep maintaining the bullish move though. To get some failure right around 5 and these prior highs right here, you watch out. Needs to break on through there. Those prior highs. All right. Then 9. Looks like a similar situation. It's just finding, well, not really similar. It's finding resistance right there. Got to break above that zone, then above the above the 618, right here around 504. If it can start making higher targets there, 11 could be the upside if it'll break out. All right. Let's see. CHPT from YouTube. That's a downtrend right there. Charge point. See this trend of lower highs here. So the big thing it's got to overcome is breaking out of that. So it found resistance at the 144 at that roadmap line there, here, make him poke up through. What's going to happen right here? If it can break out of that downtrend, then great, we can see some higher prices. But right now, my primary expectation on that would be more continuation lower. All right. Next up, CRM, Charlie Romeo Mike. Same sort of situation. got a steeper descent going on here. It's got to break up above that, and then it's got resistance right above it right there at the 144 EMA / roadmap line. That's the situation on CRM. So it definitely has resistance right here where this last consolidation was too. So right there, I mean, the levels for that 211 to about 225. And it could extend up, where it peaked up right there. So could go like that up to about 230. All right, TBT. Yeah, that one's taken off pretty well. Kind of CB1 exclamation point. And the T-bond, treasury bond right here. Looks like it's finding a little support down here. It could bounce. So we'll see right there for treasury. So this is a 20-year treasury. And I mean, it's basically the inverse, right? Like the other one. So I don't really have much to predict on that. I mean, if you ran this bigger pattern, it's coming up resistance around 28.50. Everybody likes TLT also, and that one looks like it's headed for some lower prices. Target probably down here around 100, 105. All right, BEN. That one's kind of a downtrend. I mean, until it breaks above 28 level, until it breaks above this right in here, I would expect, I mean, it may do this and then that again. Looks like, see if it hit any kind of critical level so far. Yeah, probably needs to retrace back in that zone right there, back around 21. And it can break out above there and take off, but so far, yeah, nothing great on BEN at the moment. So AA. Find a resistance at the roadmap line, needs to get above 68 to kind of flip the probability. Then it's got some resistance built up in here all the way up to 77. So nothing great until we get above, 78, 79. Then we can see 113 on the upside if it'll go. Now this is part of the bigger mining conglomerate, thing here. AA, materials, metals. You got XME, you got X. Some of these are just messing around down here on the supply side, while you have XME taking off, kind of breaking out. A move back above 60 is going to potentially flip this around. So, all right, big long list. IWM, that one has targets up here around 200, breaking 200 sets us up to move back up to this 230 area up here. And then XLE, just looking for it to find a target here. 94 and 98 above that are the next resistance zones. And XLU, utilities, well, looks like we're finding a little resistance at the, see which fib line. Yeah, it's got to break above this junk it's got right here to move out to this 79 area. And then XLC, not communications. Yeah, that one's a down. That matches T being in a bigger downtrend, even on the weekly here. Lower lows, and then VZ moving on down. So XLC moving on down. All right, DDD. Hit the target down here. What can it do now? Can it break out of here, or is it going to continue to a lower target around 5? All right. Any future in Doge? No, it's inflationary. And they make 10,000 more Doge coins every few minutes, and I see no future in it. All right. Hal, I'd watch out for this one 1958 level right there. Halliburton. 1958 level. If it breaks through there, then it could work on the next move higher to 2190. But it's likely to get another one of these big retraces in here as it approaches that level, probably back to about 1750. All right, Apple is in a bigger downtrend, looking for, it's either got to break out above that trend line or it's going to get a lower low. Now this area was my target over here. So if it can break out of the trend, this downtrend of lower highs, then great. If it can't, then it's probably got a date with this 125 to 130. And I keep kicking around 123, maybe the ultimate low that we see on Apple. So I did AMD. I thought I did CVX already. Yeah, pretty sure I did. ZIM. If you missed it, you can watch it on YouTube. ZIM has got to break above 73.50 to get on the upside here. Find a resistance at this 618 level right there. All right, CB. And hitting some final resistance at the highs there above say 215. Can flip that one to going higher. Right now, just kind of hitting the head, hitting the head, hitting the head, hitting the head over and over and over. All right, SJT. Trying to get everybody in here. That one's just flat. That's big flat box. That's a big sideways dip out, dip up, like still sideways. I expect it to continue that way for now. If that wasn't the right thing, that's XJT. SJT is one I see. And that one's breaking above. Next level up would be 2150 on that one. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna have to hurry up because I don't have a lot more time. OXM sideways to down. OXY reaching up in this target zone. 101's next one up. And TSLA, I have a $1,500 target on that one if it can get going bullish. Working on a 1-2 right now. Bounced right off my support level, may come back down to the 670 level before it can make the next leg higher and retest this zone here at 900s. And ultimately 1500 is my target area up here. How long that takes, I don't know. I still have my August trade on. All right, Amazon. I bought some pre-split. I bought 150 puts. I thought I was gonna be rich, right? No, I'm just kidding. That one still set up to go lower at this point. It was set up to go lower before the split, still set up to go lower after the split. I don't know what to say at this point. Needs to, and it's gonna, I have a feeling it's gonna finish retracing fully back into this zone over here. All right. AVT. Nice breakout after a long consolidation. Did a long consolidation in here. And I'd look for resistance around 52.70. Yeah, 52.68 is the number on here. So watch out for that. Watch out for it to pull back and retest that one more time after it gets up there. All right. Yeah, did that one. Google. Well, it bounced right off of this 2118 level, coming back up. It's got some resistance. It may be hard to see. Sorry, I'll zoom up. It's got some resistance that we've got to work through in this zone right there. And then the roadmap line right there above that. So it's got some work to do, like many of the tech stocks. Now, if Nasdaq can get out of its way, then we'll see some higher prices. GME, not GMR. That one, as I mentioned earlier, is in a large downtrend. While it can roll right back up here to about 168, it's still got lower highs coming across there. All right, NEX. Looks like the sky's the limit. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. That swing, yeah, it looks like might get some resistance around 1325. And I did SGT. Let's see. Mara has support at 760. I don't have it on this chart. 760 is where I have support on my other chart with a whole lot more fibs on it. It holds here. So Mara, they sold stock to buy their Bitcoin miners. They have increased their mining capacity some 400% recently. And they don't really have debt, but they're mining. They need Bitcoin to be over 35,000 a coin to be profitable on those Bitcoins they're mining. Below that, they're not profitable. So they're sucking wind right now with Bitcoin being down below 35,000. The mid 40s is where they start to be profitable, like wildly profitable again. And anything above mid 40s makes Mara probably a triple digit company. So that's what I got to say about them. Most of the other ones, Hut, Hive, Riot, a lot of them borrowed money to buy their mining machines and then leveraged that as collateral to buy more mining machines. Mara didn't do that, so I feel like they're still positioned as one of the better companies. That's one of the few fundamental stories that I do keep up with in the market. All right, MU. I'll do a couple more and then find a resistance at the 144 EMA and back down to the consolidation box lows here. Got to break through the 144 EMA to get moving up. All right. Can you go long on AMD now? You could. I don't know if it's wise. I'd wait till it confirmed a breakout. NVDA, well, that's got a lot of work to do. At the minimum, it's got to get back above this 203 level. Then it's got a resistance box. The 144 EMA is coming down to find it very quickly. So, all right, AMT, American Tower. So this one's got downtrend of highs going right here. And we keep holding this 223 low on the low side. Now, when I would watch out for, it tends to rally when the market's bad, and it tends to drop when the market's good. So you can see as we had a rough few days, it rallied. And then if we start rallying again in the market, it'll probably pull back again. All right. See a lot more requests. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody, I don't think, because there's a lot more. You're welcome to come into Discord and ask. I'll throw in as many as I can. But I don't think Bitcoin is going to zero. I think it's in what I call crypto winter. I talked about that in my crypto power plays update for the week. That Bitcoin is likely, let's see, let me just pull it up. I'll wrap it up there and then let's see, where's the trading view? All-time history right there. This guy right here, zoom out to the weekly. turn off the roadmap line. There we go. So we have a trough right here, and then we had a halving in 2012. And then we had a trough right in here, and we had a halving in 2016. And we had a trough in here, and we had a halving in 2020. And then we're getting a trough that's probably going to last somewhere in the next few months here. It's what I call crypto winter, potentially. And it can break out here and go. This could be the low now, but we could spend the next 3 to 6 months in kind of a crypto dull period, like we've done in all these troughs. This one was longer. This one was more sudden with another dip later. This one just spiked down and then took off. So we've got kind of 3 different ways. So this one's going to be different than any of these probably. I mean, it's just the nature of, the markets tend to echo. They don't exactly rhyme and match. So this one's going to do something similar but different, where it'll dip in this pre-halving time period. Halving right now is in March, not really scheduled, but it's estimated to be in March 2024. We get the low around 12 to 18 months before that. That would put it in September. We could do it earlier this time. Just the past 3 have been 12 to 18 months in that window of time before the halving. So we could see crypto kind of get real dull or weird for the next couple of months. And then as we break out of that time period into the halving, pre-halving, we'll start to see a run. It happens every time we get a run heading into halving. And then when we get to halving, it keeps running. And Bitcoin tends to 10 to 20x the price that it was in the low before the halving. So that's kind of my 2 cents right there, that we're in this pre-halving crypto winter, where things will be boring for a little bit. So maybe time to accumulate some coins that you think could take advantage of the run. All right, let's jump over and do my wrap up, part number 3. So currently the markets are up and down like a yo-yo, back and forth, up and down, day after day, every day it seems like, right? Tuesday, last week, Tuesday up, Wednesday down, Thursday up, Friday down. I mean, that was rough. And there's not really necessarily a reliable way to predict moves if you don't have any kind of trend. I mean, if it's just, chopping you up, then it's really tough, right? So you need a way to get out of that day-to-day chaos with strategy that takes each day as it comes. Now, day trading is a powerful antidote to a chaotic and bearish market, but it can be dangerous too, unless you're doing it the right way. So when you're in and out in a few hours, you don't really have to worry about the direction of the broader market overnight. Gaps up, gaps down. You don't necessarily have to worry if you're trading, if you're a day trade and you're out, you don't have to worry about that. Whereas you would if you were in a directional trade. But most of the day's trading strategies require too much work, too much focus, too much attention. There's just a ton of things that you can learn, and maybe it's good, maybe it's not good. It's really tough, right? So you have to scan for stocks, you have to find the right setups, you have to monitor them, you keep your watch list, you plan your entries, plan your exits, plan your, how do you keep up with it all, right? But if you've been paying attention lately, then you know that I discovered a way to trade just one ticker right at the opening bell. Has a 70% track record over the last 21 years of working. And I'm not worried about the market. I don't have to scan for a ton of stocks. I have one. It's always the same one. I don't have to guess about entries and exits like you would most days. If I have a piece of software that tells me if the trade's even set up each day. So since I started tracking my results at the start of the year, I've seen some pretty absurd gain, results. 65 trades, 46 of those were wins, 19 were losses. Total trade win rate of 70.77%. Average win gain, this is the average win, is 61.25%. The average time in trade, and it's, all the trades combined, 54 minutes. Total cumulative returns, that's just, that's not compounding or anything. It's 1,249%. I think with the gain today, it was that edged that up just a little bit. So all this by trading one ticker symbol, typically just once per day, right at the opening bell, and usually finishing the trade within that first hour. So this week, I've had 2 back-to-back wins, Monday and Tuesday. Monday's was a 4-minute 50% gain, and it was exactly 50% right there. And then Tuesday, oh, they're backwards. So Monday's was right here on the right, and then Tuesday was over here on the left. Today was 52.78% in about 46 minutes. So in at 9:36, out at 10:22. Yesterday was in at 9:34 and out at 9:38. So I'm proud to say that my opening bell alert members have traded with me, and some, well, I'd say most of them do better than I do. So you got Greg here, Ron here, Robert here, 60%, John here, 32%, Chuck, 37%. You made a quick $500 today. Carrie here, 126%, had a great day. All they had to do was just follow the exact trade setup that I posted in the room. It's a 24/7 room. I'm there all the time answering questions. I do sleep for a little bit. So I'll get questions in just a second. So I share what I'm doing right at the opening bell. And if I wait, I wait. And I share it all, share the entry, share the exit. And I teach you how to do the same. These trades do go kind of fast sometimes. So I try to teach you how to make your own decisions. It's not, you don't have to rely on me for entries and exits. So they didn't have to try to decode which way the market was going to go. I mean, they just followed the opening bell alerts, and we get the alert from the bot at 9 o'clock a.m. Then when the market opens at 9:30 Eastern, then we decide what the trade is. And most days we're done by 10:30. Like Monday, we're done in 4 minutes. So by 9:40, we're done. So opening bell alerts also comes with a ton of reports and training and live sessions and all sorts of stuff. We have a live session coming up on Thursday at 1 o'clock. And I have a 30-day complete satisfaction money back guarantee, no questions asked. So if you're tired of riding the market yo-yo, you could just join me and these traders in our trade room as soon as tomorrow's opening bell. Marquet is offering a $200 discount and it's still available. She's kind of backing it. She's helped me launch this thing. So go to jeffreytrader.com/OBA, call my team at 855-454-0816 to place your order and claim the discount today. $12.97 gets you a full year. And you don't have to use the options I use. You can use options that expire in a few days. The gains may not be exactly perfectly the same, but it's close. All right, let me roll through, get a few questions here. You can't day trade. Well, you can change your account to a cash account and you can day trade. So how do you find me on Discord? You have to be a subscriber to something of mine to get on Discord. All right. I'm now a member. I need some help with Discord. All right, let me grab this phone number really quickly. So Jeffrey Turnmeyer trading customer service. Let me correct that. Let me copy and paste this into the chat right here. Not to Justin, I need to everyone. Right here, Jeffrey Turnmeyer trading customer service 888-203-6792. If you have signed up for anything and you have trouble, didn't get something, need a little help, whatever it is, give them a call. They'll hook you up. What type of trades are they? They are day trades with options, but you can use shares on the days we're going long. Your returns will not be 50%. They'll be more like a couple percent, 1, 2, 3%. All right. No, they don't get text. Discord is faster than text. They are straight options, long calls or long puts. Today was a good day. That's a year's worth of service, I do believe. Pop over to jeffreytrader.com/OBA and find out what you can go visit real quick. jeffreytrader.com/OBA. Look at what it looks like. Right. Shows up at 60-minute surges. It's got some information here you can look at and agree. Looks like 1 year access, $12.97, 2 year access, $19.97. My lifetime members that got in early before we had a service, you got a deal. No lifetime offer anymore. All right, so jeffreytrader.com/OBA. Go away message. Or call 855-454-0816. All right, any more questions? Here's the link in the chat in case you're having trouble. Any final questions, remarks? Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up. This was a session for the week. Thanks for coming, everybody. As always, I'm in Discord. You can buy Market Roadmap or double dip trades. Either one of those comes with access to Discord. It's 40, I think, Market Roadmap, $49 a year. Double dip trades, $47 a year. Once you're in Discord, I'm not kicking you out. So if you need Market Roadmap, that's jeffreytrader.com/MRM Market Roadmap. And double dip trades is DDT, Delta Delta Tango. Try to keep it simple with the 3-letter codes. OBA, opening bell alerts. All right. Any final questions, remarks? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up. I got a traffic study I got to pump out here before I go home. Thanks for coming, everybody. I'll see you again. See you again later.